Lefty here with your early market report for Sunday, May 9th. If this is your first time watching these market report videos, what we try to do here is get a head start on the games and look to see where the early money is being bet and where the odds makers are adjusting the lines or totals. Analyzing the market early can be helpful because a lot of respected bets or sharp money is typically bet early on against the opening lines, and then the public or casual bettors tend to get involved later in the day, closer to game time. But we also have to consider that these numbers will change as the day goes on and as more bets start to roll in. The data we see here on the screen now is only reflecting a very small amount of bets in the market, so we have to keep that in mind. But let's jump right into it. We got the Sunday schedule up. Also, really quickly, if you guys have watched any of my Play of the Day videos or if you're a member in the Discord community, you've heard me talk about getaway games. And Sundays are always getaway games for teams. And what this means is on Sunday, it's usually the final game of a series. And after that game, they travel to their next city. These teams usually just have to, they just usually played the night before and have a quick turnaround with a day game. So these situational spots, we often see managers give key players a day off. And when you combine all those factors, it can lead to a lower scoring game or just overall lack of motivation. These guys aren't grinding out at bats on Sundays. They want to get the game over with and get on the plane to head home. Um, the numbers actually do reflect this as well. The two main getaway days are Sunday and Wednesday, and they happen to be the only 2 days where betting unders are profitable long term over a big sample size. So it's just not a coincidence, that we see lower scoring games on the two getaway day games. Um, this doesn't mean we want to go and bet every under, of course, on these days, but it's just something that's worth keeping in mind. But let's get into the games today. As you can see here, there's not many games that have a line yet. So we're going to skip those and we'll just take a look at a couple of the games that are receiving early action. Um, First up here, Colorado St. Louis. Looks like the Cards are getting early money here, and that money is actually getting a little bit of respect on the line as well. Opened 138 up to 148 already. Um, Not sure I agree 100% with this. Cards are going for the sweep, and even though the Rockies are awful away from home, I always feel like those teams facing a sweep are the more motivated team. Um, Colorado will be heading home after the game to host the Padres, I believe, and for tomorrow they get a series with the Padres, and the Cardinals will have a day off tomorrow, but they'll have to be in Milwaukee on Monday for a series against the Brew Crew. Um, but I imagine the public's going to just be pounding St. Louis here. Um, Pittsburgh, Chicago Cubs, next game here. As always, we're not going to see a total here on this game because at Wrigley Field, the weather is always a factor. And I believe the weather is blowing hard in. Yeah, it's actually up to like 15 miles per hour. Um, yeah, this total is going to open up as low as 6, I bet. It really wouldn't surprise me if it's at 6. Um, that's going to tempt me to bet the over here, too. If they open up at 6, I mean, the Cubs can hit left-handed pitching. Looks like Pitt's actually getting some sharp money, too. Anytime you see 35% and then, 54% of the money, how does 35% of the bets equal 54% of the money? And if we look at the line here, Cubs opened minus 177 at Pinnacle, and they're down almost 20 cents there. So um, that tells me Pitt's getting some early sharp money there. So that's something to keep an eye on. Boston, Baltimore. Boston's been cruising lately. Early percentages actually look good for Baltimore here, though. 25% of bets, 44% of money. So it's the contrarian side right there. Obviously, Boston's going to be getting bets and money, with the way they're playing. Anytime you see low percentage like this, but money higher, it should catch your eye. the way we normally interpret this too is there are some bigger size bets being made on Baltimore, and we can assume it's respected money actually too, because Boston opened 144 here at Penny, or 150 at Chris, and they're down 20 cents there. But again, these getaway day games are always tricky, because I imagine Boston's going to be resting some bats here. That's the only way that makes me think Baltimore's getting sharp money, is the Red Sox will be resting guys. Definitely a low motivation spot here for Boston. What do we got next? Washington, New York here. It's all Yankees bets and money. Odds makers they're adjusting accordingly too. Open 146, they're up to 161. Not really surprising though. Yankees are always getting one-way action. I never like betting bigger favorites on these getaway games, because of the tendency like managers have to rest guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Boone gives some guys the day off. For me, if I'm ever laying anything over 150 in that range, I want the team to have their A-plus lineup going. Total looks actually kind of interesting here. We got bet 71% on the over, and 57% of the money's on the over, but Pinnacle is adjusted from 9.5 down to 9. This could be a sneaky under spot here, especially before both lineup cards come out. Because if both teams give guys the day off, I think Ross and Jermaine can do enough to keep this a low-scoring game, because both benches stink for Washington and the Yankees. So that could be a potential under spot there. I'm going to keep an eye on. Next up, Cincy, Cleveland. Cincy's getting some bigger size bets early here. The bet amount is basically split, but 82% of the money's on Cincy, so lopsided bets and money to the over. We have a few sharp books adjusting from 8.5 to 8, though, which is interesting. Chris is down to 8, and it looks like, with all that lopsided money on the over. And I agree with the under in this one. Cincy bats have gone ice cold. I think Maul can actually shut down the Indians' bats a bit too. Plus, again, if some of these managers are going to give the guys a day off, it only helps the under. I might actually try to grab that under 8.5 in this one, if I can find an 8.5, because I'm sure that game's going to close at 8. All the bets and money on the over, and we're starting to see 8s pop up here in the market. Yeah, that's going to be a sharp underplay, I bet. All right, that's going to do it for me today for this one. Hope you guys find this type of stuff helpful or even enjoyable. Let me know in the comments section, or smash that like button, as they say. I know everyone just wants picks, but I'm determined to try and help bettors learn how to identify good bets on their own. So far, it seems like an uphill battle, but I'm going to keep plugging along. But if picks are all you want, join the Discord community. The link is in the bio. It's 100% free to join. Hope to see you in there, and let me get out of here before this video is too long. Until next time, good luck, and as always, may all the umps calls go your way.